Hey, how you doing, sis?
Hey sis, can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hi, everyone in the chat. How y'all doing? Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, ladies. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Hey, sis. Hey, Peaches. How y'all doing?
Okay, so
Hey,
Rick, you
Miss
said you
Letta. Hey,
can, sis.
Blicky. Hey, K-pop. Hello. Gamma's World.
Okay, they said yes.
Ambril, you there?
So April, you can't hear me, but the chat can hear me.
Maybe it's me.
Okay, y'all, hold on for 1 second, because we need to hear each other so that we can communicate with each other throughout this the show. We having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're gonna get it together.
Hello, you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, I hear you too. Okay,
Okay,
we
you hear
cooking
me
with Crystal.
now? Okay, welcome everybody. Could y'all please hit the like button for us? Y'all know I'm still getting used to YouTube, so I want to say tag some friends that you think would like it over here, and we're gonna tell y'all what we're building and what we have going on. So you got something you want to say, sis?
I just want to say hello, ladies. I'm so glad to see y'all over here. I'm so excited that to be a part of this and what we all gonna do together. I'm really excited about that. This vision that Amber has is amazing. But what we need you to do is we got to get this going. And y'all know it's a whole algorithm. So if you can run, hit that little X over here on YouTube, run and hit that thumbs up. And then if you click that share and copy the link, it'll make it a lot easier to share on your other platforms. But let's get some women over here.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I am so excited as well, you guys. I'm what ladies, because this is a community that we are building for the women. And I'm excited to have my sis April. She's been a supporter of mine, and I've been a supporter of hers for a about what, maybe a little over 2 years on Facebook. So
Yes.
I'm excited, to have her supporting me with this movement. When I ran it by her, she was on board or whatever. So I want to tell you guys, you ladies, I keep saying you guys, but I want to tell you ladies like kind of where it stemmed from. So if you don't know, I am a mom of three. I have two teenagers and a preteen. And when I tell y'all, they over here driving a sister crazy. They over here, they over here driving me crazy. And so earlier this year, I was just like, dang, like I kind of the idea kind of came from my boyfriend, and like I said, just life situations or whatever, dealing with mothering, being a mother, motherhood, parenting, all of that. And so I remember him telling me to reach out to one of my sisters, which is Beautifully Healed, because she has grown adult children. And so he was like, why don't you reach out to Tanya and shout out to her? Y'all make sure y'all go show my sis some love over here. She is on YouTube also. But he was like, why don't you reach out to Tanya, and kind of talk to her, because her children are grown. She's raised her children, and kind of get some advice from her. And I was like, you know what? I never thought about that. And I was telling him one reason that I never thought about it is because I don't like to bother people. And I was like, I'm sure Tanya wouldn't mind me calling her, but I just don't like to, be a bother to someone. And he was like, Tanya do not care. So when I mentioned it to her, she was like, sis, you could have called me or whatever. And that's kind of where the idea stem from. I was just like, dang, I wish we had like a space and a community where women could get together and support each other and talk about parenting, motherhood, the ups and downs of being a parent, and just outside of parenting. But April was like, we can just talk about being a woman all together. We could talk about things that women go through, how our body changes and stuff like that. So here we are today, getting started. So just to kind of give y'all a little, idea of where this came from.
Yes. And we're bringing two completely different platforms together. Hey, I just want to say hey real quick to my people in the comments, and Amber, say hey to your people in the comments, unless you did that already. I
did.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a lot of them that came in, but hey, Shalay. Hey, Amanda, how y'all doing? But
hey,
for those that don't know, we have a blended family, and I have 6 adult children, an 11-year-old who has special needs and several diagnoses, and 4 grandbabies. So when she brought this idea to me, I was like, oh yeah, we could talk about them. Y'all know the children. That's what I'm here to talk about, just so everyone's clear.
Right. And what it's like just raising them, because I just feel like this is needed, and not just for myself, but like I said, like April said, when I ran the idea by her, she was like, oh yeah, let's do it, and so this was earlier this year, and then I kind of like, slept away from it, and she brought it back up like, hey, when are you gonna start the talk that we're supposed to be doing? I was like, you know what, you're right, let's go ahead and get started. So, and also we want you guys, you ladies, to know that this is not just about me. It's not about April. It's about all of us. Like, this is a movement for women. It's a community that we're building. So if it's anything that you're going through, that you're experiencing, it don't matter what it is, y'all. We are going to create an email. We've been on here for like an hour and a half, prepping and working on stuff. But we're going to create an email so that you can send in your topics and things that you want to discuss and talk about, so that we can come on and discuss them. And nobody has to know that it came from you. Even if you want to send it from a dummy account, a fake email or whatever, just send it in and we're going to talk about it, baby. Okay? Because we want this to be an outlet for women.
Yes. And everything is, listen, it's only one rule, and that's that respect, right? That's it. That's all. As adults, that should be really easy. But that is, that is what is gonna be required over here, is just respect. But with that, and as women, we can talk about anything. You don't have to agree to learn something.
That's true. Yeah. So like she said, those are the rules of the room. Be kind, be respectful to each other. And when we say be respectful to each other, we're talking about the panel and to the people in the room, in the chat. We will not tolerate disrespect. We will not tolerate people, being rude to each other and stuff like that. That's not what we're doing. So we're not going to have any of that over here. This is not a space for that.
So, but yeah, so I mean, it's really that simple. So, but hit us with what y'all want to hear about. We're going to post the email so you can send it that way, or you can feel free if you want to inbox either one of us or any of those type of things. Y'all know how to get at us, but there will be an email where you could send everything. We'll get that posted.
Right. And as we move on, also, we will bring other women up. If you're going through something and you want to vent about it, you want to talk about it, we will open the panel and have you ladies come up, whatever it is that you may want to come up and vent about, speak about, get advice about, if you just like, look, I'm going through it, I just need some prayer. Like, that's what we're doing. We're creating a space for that.
That's right. Whatever you need. If you just need to come up here and yell or fuss, but hey, and resources. Listen, I say all the time, resources are better than money. So one of the benefits of building a community is that you have more access to resources because you got more people. So that's worth more than money sometimes, most of the time. So, I want everyone, just to keep that in your mind, because that helps you keep your mind on the current situation. Like, this is the goal, right? The goal is to be, like what Amber said, a safe space. So in order for that to happen, our job is to facilitate such a space.
Right.
And that's what Amber wants to do here. So, there may be some tough conversations sometimes.
Definitely.
There may be some conversations where you like, I can't be in this room. I can't. And that's okay. That's respected.
Right.
But we're not going to stop the conversation because you're uncomfortable.
You're an
adult, you can leave and there's no harm. But if it's something that someone else has asked or that we think is important, we're going to talk about it.
Yep, that's true. That is so true. So, and that's another thing too, y'all. Like when I say it's going to be real and raw conversations, that's what we gonna talk about. Real and raw conversations. I mean, as long as it's respectful. So we're gonna talk about it all, and it's not, when I say talk about it all, some people without the mess, because again, that's not a space for this. That's not what we're creating here. So it's a space for women to support each other. We're building a community, and uplift one another. And that's what we're going to do here. And if you have platforms also, for us to support each other on your platforms, support each other businesses and things of that nature.
That's right. Exactly. This is your vision. So we're not going to shy away from, and it's your vision. So that's what we're going to do.
In our schedule, we will be coming on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and the lives are expected to be 30 minutes to an hour long. So, maybe one Monday we're talking about a topic that may be helpful to you, or it may be helpful to a sister friend that you have or something, or to a cousin, or whatever the case may be, and you may want to hop in on that live and listen to it on your ride home from work, to get resources for that friend or your cousin or whoever it may be. That's what we doing. That's what we creating. So just so y'all know, we won't be on here 3 hours, 4 hours. It's just gonna be 30 minutes to an hour covering a topic, and providing resources, and that's it.
That's all. So anyway, how was your Monday, sis?
My Monday was pretty good. It was pretty good today. Look, the kids didn't get on my nerves today, so
Yeah, they was in school.
Yes, girl, they get on my nerves when they in school. It don't even matter, but not today they didn't. So them kids text me and all throughout the school day.
Oh, absolutely not. Zane does not take his phone to school. I wish he had tried. Leave that right in the car.
How old is he?
11.
Oh, okay. See, I have, and that's a topic right there, because I have even when my kids get in trouble, sis, I cannot wrap my mind around sending them to school without those phones, because so much go on. Like, my daughter's school was just on lockdown Friday. When I picked her up, she had to walk to the car because the school was like closed off. The road that I turn on to get to the school, it was closed off. So that's a whole look. That's a topic in itself right there. Sending your child to school without a phone or with a phone. Girl, I'll be so worried about them. And I done had that experience last year. Last April, I went through that with my daughter's school. And then the school that had the shooting here in Georgia, that school
Uh-huh.
is right next to my hometown. So I had little cousins that went there. Yep.
Mm.
So yeah,
Wow.
that's a touchy subject about those phones.
It definitely is. But Zane, he got all the diagnoses. So
Mm-hmm.
he don't even know what to do with the phone. We
Oh,
literally gonna have to do some go in and get him type stuff. Cause when
right,
all them
right.
alarms and stuff go off, he gonna go to hollering and they're gonna be able to, he gonna go to STEM and they gonna be able to do nothing with him. So we gonna have
Yeah,
to go in and get him.
gotcha. Well,
He
she
don't
said
need no
we have to
phone.
go get them. Yeah.
So
Hey, Malicia.
what
Hey, girl.
Cheryl the Pearl, she said, right, my daughter is in trouble and I took her phone, but find myself giving it back to her because I want to be able to contact her.
I didn't see that comment. I
Oh,
wonder why.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it on because I'm on another device and I didn't see it. So I'm glad that they're being pinned so I can acknowledge them and see the comments. But Cheryl, that was part of the reason last year when my daughter went through that. It was literally an active shooter at their school. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. And literally, she could not text me. And that's why I was like in the parking lot freaking out, girl, spazzing. I was on live crying, and I don't come on live and cry. I was on live crying and everything. And the only reason I went live is because I wanted to bring attention and awareness to that school.
Hmm.
Because it happens so often at her school in particular. So I was like, this is like, I'm so over this school. And that literally was my caption, I think. I am so over this with this school. And it was a mess. Girl, I was texting her, she wasn't responding. I was out there spazzing. I saw kids started leaving the school. The parents were getting into it with the officers. Every time I turn around, it's like a SWAT of police cars come. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a mess. This is not good.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
scary.
it it's really sad, the state of things like that for our children, right? Like it will never look for them like it did us. Now I'm 47, so I'm a little older. So let's be clear. But it look a lot different, for our children. So as parents, I think sometimes it's missed that we have to accommodate for the difference, right? Because it isn't the same for them. The things that they are exposed to, the things that I have, my oldest daughters are 27. They, my husband and I each have a daughter that age.
Mm-hmm.
We a blended family. So they, even there, since their time, it is so crazy now for these children and what they have to actually process and see from their exposure because of Wi-Fi and the internet
Mm-hmm.
to what go on at school. They don't even go to school and feel safe. Like some kids only feel safe at school because of their home environment.
That's true.
Now they can't even go there and be safe. Cause baby, listen, people
And
is,
that's sad.
you know, and the truth is that's why, listen, it just is so hard being a parent and navigating that. And I feel like sometimes we don't show enough grace to other parents. Like, listen, I got some what the hells right in my book. Like, what are you doing? Type situations. But listen, if it's about bedtime, If it's about their diet, listen, that's your business, ma'am, sir. I don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? And we have to show grace. Everybody's not gonna do it like you, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Because I saw Gamma in the chat said that she was like, it doesn't come with an instruction guide, and that's true.
Mm.
Everybody parents different. Valencia said Tori is on punishment as of today, but she's getting her phone before she get out the car. People love saying what we did when we did have what we did when we didn't have phones, but they fail to realize these aren't the same times. That's true.
Yes.
That is so true. And it's crazy that we're living in those times, y'all, where you really can't send your child to school, um you like basically as a parent, you would be freaking out. And like I said, I'm speaking from experience. You would literally be freaking out if something happened and you can't communicate with your child. Because you didn't send their phone to school, or you took their phone, or whatever the case may be. Just imagine that. And again, back when I was growing up, you weren't going to school with no phone. You get your phone when you get out of school.
I ain't even have damn phones. So hell, I was in high school when I got a little pager. Baby, but I tell you what, I could write a whole sentence on a beeper. Beep beep.
Them beepers, girl.
But I ain't even had no cell phone. Boy, I tell you.
Let's see. Gamma said yes, every household is different. Valencia said, right, baby, leave me out the bedtime convos and what to feed kid convos.
And child, it's like, baby, just feed them. As long as they ain't hungry, hey, leave me alone. That's it. That's all.
Right.
There
Gamma
go.
said, we're simply living in those times. Yeah, it's true. And then it broke my heart, y'all, because like I said, that school, the Appalachian school, it sits right next to my hometown. It's literally probably like 10 minutes from my grandmother's house. And it broke my heart to see all those people on my news feed, like on my personal page, not the Embria Nicole page, but on my personal page, seeing all those people write that their kids were calling them, like telling them, hey, I just called to tell you I love you. Like they literally was saying their goodbye message to their parents.
Baby, that's like them planes 9/11. That's just something you just can't. And them, oh Lord,
Mm-hmm.
could you
It is.
imagine that phone call in real life? Like that's not. I mean, this shit happened. This
Yep.
isn't no movie. This is not Lifetime or AMC, the Walking Dead or Living Dead or whoever the hell they is. This is not that. This is not Fortnite. This is not Call of Duty. What this is this is real life.
Yep.
What do you do?
Valencia said we didn't have cell phones until I got to high school. Yeah, that's true. I couldn't imagine what those schools feel, what parents of those schools feel. Yeah, that's what I said too. Those kids just went back to school, y'all. I want to say, because my little cousins go there, so I want to say they went back maybe the week before last. And just imagine having to walk those halls. That's
Oh
just
Jesus. But you know what? I would say this about kids. They resilient. And if we love them and get them the help, the mental health services that they will all need. Listen, no child should be able to say, I don't want services. They all should get mental health services if they experience this.
That is true. I did see someone saying that they should all be provided with counseling. Yeah.
And I think most counties, because my kids, we were in the beginning of when all of that really got started. My kids were in school. And so I have had that experience where there was a bomb threat or there was actually gun fire in the high school my daughter attended in Virginia in the cafeteria while she was at school. So I have this experience. And so, but it was just starting, so it's not as much, but
Right.
it has escalated to an all-time high. And so I say they all need therapy. The parents, they should offer the parents therapy. But most districts or counties for schools, they have this stuff like federally funded and things. So they should send somebody in, but it's usually optional. See, I think that's a big problem. Mental health should not be optional.
That's
for nobody.
That is true.
So if you know there's been a trauma, you should be proactive in that. It shouldn't be an option. If there is a threat of such action at that school, there should be some immediate assistance, across the board, because that scare alone is scary.
Yeah, a lot of those kids on the news, y'all, like that junk was sad. Oh my goodness, it was sad. They were saying that they literally was walking by those teachers' bodies, laying there like lifeless. Yes.
And so many people in these great United States don't even know what walking past somebody that looks like.
Yeah,
what that feel like.
I definitely agree with you, Miss Peaches. She said we live in a day of technology now. There really isn't a way around it. It isn't. Mm-hmm. It's not.
Oh, yes. We used to play hide and go get and build houses in the woods. Them little forts.
Yes, that's so funny that you say that, because my cousins were arguing. Hey, Tanya. Hey, sis. My cousins were arguing last week, y'all. And so it's my first cousins, but one of them, she's way younger than us. She's probably 22, 23. And so her sister is 30 something, around my age. And so she was like, you remember that cartoon? And my cousin was like, no, I don't remember that cartoon. She was like, yes, you do. Girl, my cousin said, girl, we had shit to do when we was kids. We was out building forts and dams and stuff. She said, we don't remember cartoons like y'all. She said, y'all sat in the house. We was in rivers and in the woods.
Babe, in water, I wouldn't let my children go in for nothing. Baby, girl, I was all the way in it.
April, I said, let her know we definitely had shit to do. We was outside. She told her, she said, girl, when the sun came up, we're outside until it went down.
And you better not air condition the outside. Don't you open that damn door in the summertime here in Florida, baby.
Times are so different. You can't get these kids to go outside now. My cousin said, girl, we was building dams and we was in rivers, and we really was, like, for real.
Like, I remember I ain't even think about an alligator. You understand? I'm in Florida. Yes. Like, April, I ain't care about no moccasin.
Let me tell you, this is how crazy this is. I've been with my family the last 2 weekends, so we was talking about childhood memories and stuff. And I told them, I said, y'all, do y'all know that Nanny was letting us go under that bridge in that river? And my cousin said, my kids ain't going in no damn river. Not now. In this time, we literally was under a bridge at my nanny's house in a river. And she just let us, we called it the creek. And she would just let us go under there. We weren't scared of snakes, spiders, nothing. We just under there just having a good time, playing, making stuff with the mud. We called it clay, just doing stuff. These kids, I always say, these kids would not survive how we would have survived back in our time of growing up. They wouldn't know what to do.
They'll call the people on us. I'm gonna tell you what the fuck they're gonna do. I'm sorry, I just had to put that there. I'm gonna tell you what the fuck they're gonna do. They're gonna call them people, because they teach them that number at school, baby.
They do.
They don't want to teach them that right math, but they sure teach them that number.
Yeah, my kids now will say, oh, it's nothing to eat here. And if I go downstairs, y'all, I'm like, it's nothing to eat. Okay, it's waffles in here, it's this in here, it's bread right there, peanut butter and jelly, ham and turkey. Like, what do you mean it's nothing to eat here?
Listen, where I grew up, where I'm from in Florida, which is where I live right now, which I was gone all those years with the military, my husband and I, but when we retired, this is where we retired to. Anyway, here in Florida, same area I grew up in. When I left and after I graduated high school in 1995 and joined the United States Navy, there was no cable here.
Mm.
We
And y'all
literally
couldn't have
have,
phones either, right?
huh?
Y'all couldn't have phones either, right? Or you could.
No, there wasn't no phone service around here. Wasn't no phones. I told you, wasn't no cell phones. I was active duty in the military on deployment when I started sending emails.
Yeah, my dad was just talking about that to me, but he was in the Navy and he was saying
Mm-hmm.
how they would be in the middle of the ocean, no no way to, communicate with your family or anything.
You pray you know a I seaman so they can connect that line so you can call out the same line that they use to reach the commanding officer. So you just need a hookup like everywhere else in life. But if you don't, you could not communicate. That's how it was out there in the middle of that water. And it ain't no cruise ship out there either.
Wow.
But yeah, like I remember that. So for me now, it's like, what the? And now I'm on social media, so it's like, what the fuck for real? But I'm figuring this shit out. Listen, I don't edit, I don't do none of that. I ain't fancy with it like you. However, baby, you gonna get what you gonna get.
I like the raw content though, to be honest with you. Only reason I'm trying to get better at my editing is because I'm trying to really be intentional with my YouTube channel and really evolve and grow on here. So I like the real and raw content. I really do. Let's read Yolanda's comment. She said there is not always a lot of mental health support depending on where you live and the situation. That is so true.
Yes.
That's so true.
But sometimes in those areas, it's not that it's not available because, like where I live, right? I drive an hour for my son who has the Dr. Zane for his appointments. So I understand that, but a lot of times in those areas, it's not that it's not available. They just don't tell you it's available. So I think sometimes people just don't know that is an option, right? Their kids aren't sleeping, but because the county or the district is just whatever they are, we're gonna talk about that one day, but not right now. Then they don't know, that is available. So I would encourage them to always ask. Make them tell you no. Is my philosophy.
But for someone, so you drive your child an hour, which is the same thing that I would do, for my child. And that's not to say that another mother wouldn't do that, but for someone
Everybody
who
don't
doesn't,
have a car.
that's what I was gonna say. For someone who doesn't have a car, then it's easier said than done for them to just be like, oh, okay, well, it's help an hour from here. I'll just drive my child there. How would they do that?
Well, I know that there are see, and it's where I live right now, there's no public transportation. The restaurants, there's nowhere for me to go get something to eat after 10 o'clock at night. There's not Uber, There's no DoorDash. There's none of that where I live right now, right this minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's that rural, right? But they have the like transportation, like Medicaid. If you have Medicaid, I know they provide it. And I think that there's some that are low income, approved in my area.
Yeah, I know that Medicaid just recently, I don't know if they partnered with Uber, but when I'm Ubering, I see a lot of those, the ride will say like, I don't know, it's a message that they give you basically saying that the ride was sponsored through the medical carrier or something like that. It's something like that. So that is true. They are providing more resources, to get to where you need to get.
Right. And so and again, I go back to make them tell you no. Because listen, the government isn't meant to help you. It's only going to help you if you make them.
I always say that.
Never make them tell you no. And if no isn't sufficient, baby, sometimes tell them to call the damn police. Baby, call them, because I ain't leaving till they get here. Some situations you got to act like that. Got to be careful now. That's not all situations, but I've done it before, but I left in handcuffs. So be ready. You know what I'm saying? Listen, dox me, baby. Go on and tell the people about my street resume. Please. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them. Y'all gonna hate me. But, yeah, it's like, it's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Hey, Blicky.
Who is it? Oh, hey there, Blicky. Blicky, what she say? Hey, Cheryl. I'm glad you came over to support the ladies. Me too. I appreciate everybody that's in here, that has been in here, that will catch the replay. Hey.
Yes, let's see. We got 20 more minutes. Let's see. Yolanda said, I know firsthand from my son, it took him going to jail before the state believed me with what was going on with my son before he was put in a psych hospital, and now it's getting better. And shout out to Yolanda, y'all. This is my cyber sister. She has been supporting me since I started in Yolanda, did you find me in 2021? Wasn't it? It was 2021, I think, y'all. But shout out to her because, yes, when my kids was acting like, who kids are these? That's what I'm gonna say. When my kids was acting like, who y'all belong to again? She was really there for me, just being able to vent to her because she also has grown children, and I'm only sharing that, we spoke on a personal level because she shared it first in the chat. But shout out to you for being helpful, girl, and helping your little sister out. Cause baby, honey, my kids aren't grown, so I'm new to this.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it's, oh Lord. I have a nephew, and I say nephew, but I had custody of him since he was 8, so he's more like a son, and he's diagnosed schizophrenic, but he was off his meds, and he did something that he did time for. But while he was in there, he was making really irrational calls and threats and all of these things, right? So I was like, what are we gonna do here? And they kept saying, because he's an adult, he have to either show or ask for help, right? Either he got to have a breakdown or he got to ask for help. And I was like, are you serious? It's the policy. What if somebody get hurt? Them tight quarters. You know what I'm saying? Like what are you doing? And so I think that happens a lot, especially with our minority community, where it's overlooked, or it's said it's this or it's that. It's because he's from a single parent home, and or it's because of this, they just don't listen. And I think that that's another place where a community like this is so beneficial, because you have someone to rally with you. A lot of time you can't get it done by yourself, but they get 100 phone calls, baby. They might do a little something. And I think that leads back to it being a safe space as well. So I'm so sorry that you experienced that, or your son.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so unfair. But unfortunately, it is the truth.
Yep. And we're glad that he's doing better also.
Yes, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
And Yolanda, I feel like also too, y'all, that's where I couldn't hear a lot of what you were saying, sis, because I had to take a phone call. But so I don't know if you said this already, but that's where the system kind of fails our children, because look at what she said. It took him having to go multiple times before the state believed her. His own mother, like she means, I'm sure she means well for her son. So why did it take multiple times, for y'all to believe his mother or listen to her, or for something to even be done? When whatever the situation is, and I know you've shared things with me, but it could have been like 20 times worse than what it went to, because they wouldn't listen to you.
That's right. But and some of that, they just, they either expect, it's like they don't have any respect for the parent. Like what you say, what you're seeing, what is happening. And we really are getting away from that, where our kids are really getting to make so many big choices for themselves that we don't know about, or even fewer things that they're going to have to tell us, with legislation and things like that, or the way certain things are going. But that's just it. They are damaging our children, but wanting them to have more responsibility.
I was going to say that next. They give them, I had to learn that, just going through different things with my teenagers or whatever. And I had shared with Yolanda, but they give these kids got more damn say so than us. And put your hands on them if you want to. They will lock your ass up. Do you hear me? I'm like, y'all know how many times my mama done slapped me, my grandma done went upside my head for getting smart and nothing was done.
Listen, I have knocked mine upside the head and nothing was done.
Child, like you said earlier, they tell them to call.
Yeah.
Like an officer, when I went to career day at my uncle's school, the resource officer, y'all, he was the narcotics officer. He said now times have changed so much to where he was like, now when I report to a scene and they telling me that it's a teenager or whatever the case may be, he said, I'm already going in there with my guards up. He said, like years ago, I wouldn't have to do that. But now I'm already going in there with my guards up because they already armed, the teenagers. And he was like, so I got to go in prepared. But he said, literally, they let them get away with so much, y'all. They will not do anything with these kids unless, he said, they literally have to be done almost unalive someone.
Wow.
And that came out the officer's mouth. He said parents calling on their teenagers and saying they're doing this, or like one little girl, y'all, she was making threats about jumping out of the window, like suicidal threats and stuff like that. They still would not take her or do nothing with her. And that's when he was telling me, like, they literally have to be done unalive themselves or someone else for the state to really get involved.
Wow. What did Yolanda say? She said it wasn't just that they wouldn't believe me, but it was also that he was an adult till they found out he wasn't mentally there. He had never been in trouble. Yep.
Oh wow.
Wow. That's just mm. I'm
And so
just so
Yolanda, did that play a part because he had like, because he had no track record of getting in trouble or like being a troubled teenager or whatever the case may be? Do you feel like that played a part in, not to more so say like why they didn't believe you, but why they weren't trying to like, do anything about it?
but you know what? Knowing what I know medically, um, it doesn't make sense. Like bipolar, schizophrenia, certain mental health diagnoses aren't made till you're in your late teens, early 20s. That's when they usually peek their head, sometimes for the first time. So I'm curious. It's like, knowing, having that understanding, it's like, why? Like, so for me, the never been in trouble part doesn't really matter if we talking mental health, right? Because those things develop later and show up later in life. Well, late teens, early 20s.
Mm.
So he may not have had any symptoms or anything until then. Now, I don't know the story, right? But so for me, them being like, because he hasn't been in trouble, this and that and the other, is so crazy to me.
Oh, that's sad. What Smile Through the Tears said.
Oh, let's see. Let's see. T Will. Hello.
Hi.
One time, my oldest son, who lives in another state, was losing his mind. Me and my mom was on the phone with him and his girlfriend. Girlfriend was telling us he had and was threatening his life. I said I was gonna call. Mm. And oh gosh, that's just the people and do a welfare check. He said, Mom, if you call the cops, I will. Oh, dog. Okay. What is the Facebook? I mean, oh, we ain't on Facebook, but YouTube. Can I say all that, sis?
I don't think you can, but you could spell it out.
Okay. Y'all can read it. We put it up there.
Yeah,
So,
that's sad.
wow. That's such a tough position.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know when someone will or won't? When someone,
Yep.
how do you know?
I always say that. I remember one time telling my ex that his brother was doing that, and I remember him making a comment and saying, oh, he always do that. And not to say that I was just like, oh well, because that didn't make me feel any better with him saying, oh, he always do that, because it still worried me, because you don't never know when a person is at their breaking point. You don't know when enough is enough and they actually do go through with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, no problem. Smile Through the Tears. I think it's okay if you can write it out so that we'll know what you're saying and the chat would know. I just think that they're funny about, certain, all these platforms they're just funny about certain words that we say.
Right. So Yolanda said for him it was okay, drug-induced schizophrenia that hit him all of a sudden in 2020. He was 20 years old when it happened. Well, and it okay, but the age for that is usually early 20s. For that, not for that reason, but that specific diagnosis and mental health. So but you see, that goes to show. See, I know that, right? But if you don't know that, them people will tell you anything. That's so unfair, but that's what happens. It's ludicrous. Thank God for a community, right?
Wow.
Oh no, and you didn't do anything. Smile through the tears. Y'all type it. We'll let y'all see it. We just might not be able to read it all. Okay, it's all right. The truth is the truth. One of my close friends left here that way, messed us all up.
And T Will, if you don't mind, I'm only asking because you shared that with us. Because I'm always curious to know. Yolanda, we had this talk. Like, were there any signs there? Like, any like change in behavior and stuff like that? Like, did you see any of that with your friend? Because I know having to talk with my cyber sister, and she was just saying, kind of going back with her child, she started to look back on like, just certain signs that were there. And she was like, dang, well, maybe this was a sign of that. Let's see. It was hard. We hid when they got there. I couldn't chance him taking his life. It did. It did de-escalate him. Okay. Mental health awareness is needed every day. It sure is. It sure is. That's why I said smile through the tears. Like, you just never know when you don't never know when is somebody's breaking point. You really don't. So it's definitely needed every day. And I feel like a lot of times people feel like that saying, you hear a lot of those, you hear a lot of people that are suicidal saying, oh, nobody would care, or I'd be better off not here, just that type of talk or whatever. And so I feel like that goes back to them feeling like no one cares. In reality, people do. Let's see. Secluding themselves, excessive hunger, poor hygiene, always sleeping, etc.
I think that there's some validity to what Yolanda Garner said. And let's be clear, none of us are counselors or therapists over here. This is all about our experience and what we have learned and seen, and the knowledge and understanding we have.
Yeah, throw our disclaimer out there.
Yeah, just so you're aware, neither one of us operate in a professional capacity over here, except as content creators. That's all.
That's it. That's all.
Hey, let's go get that out of there now. Okay. Yes, a lot of times they don't realize, when you see someone who is, with depression. So when those things start getting real heavy, and you see someone who used to do, used to take 3 showers a day, and now they might take 1 a week, or they don't get out of bed. They just, they just aren't cleaning up. Those types of things. There really is, not always, because I have experienced and seen, when it was just like a switch went off and it was boom.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start to see these type of changes in those people around you, or that you care for and you love, you really need to encourage them to go talk to somebody. If you go talk to somebody and they tell you all right, I'm cool. But I need to see that, please, for me, because I love you.
And I feel like also, and when I say in our community, just FYI, my sis on the panel, she was raised in our community. and I just wanted to throw that out there, but it means, that it's neither here or there. However, our
community is suffering. So you
right.
mean that
so
minorities.
Exactly, because I feel like we're so quick to say and shut down getting help. And you know, I see it all the time. Oh, they ain't gonna help me. Oh, what that's gonna do talking to somebody? Like what is that gonna do? You don't know if it'll help if you don't go and, you know, like try.
And that's it. Like, you know, a lot of trauma happens in our community. And just to be clear, I was raised with African Americans, but my father, I am multiracial myself in a way, but I'm not black ethnically, but culturally, baby, I am. So in a way, we're gonna carry on. Shoot, I forgot what I was finna say. What I was gonna say, I forgot.
You were saying about in our community.
Yes, we were. A lot of us was raised and are still saying in our own homes, you keep your mouth shut about what's going on here.
Yes, talk about it, sis.
You got to teach. There's a line. There's a line. About it. There's a difference in harmful secrecy. And just because you out there telling my business, everybody business ain't nobody business. However, if somebody being harmed, that's everybody business. That's so and you true. Got to teach that. So we tell them, don't say it, don't say it. So a lot of time what happened is, and we hear it all the time. I don't know about y'all funerals and where y'all be going, right? But you hear it all the time. Or people talking at the repast. Oh, I don't know what happened. It happened so fast. I didn't even know they was going through that. Or that they felt that way. No, because you wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes because they've been taught not to say nothing. That stuff is built up till it is over their head. They drowned in before they even realize they should need to say something.
That's so true.
All of my people, they'll tell you, I will make you talk. Ambra was sick. I still messed with her and made her tell me she was all right.
She did.
I'm not playing. Like my people know me. And I am gonna be solid always. But if I feel off, ho, you finna talk to me. We finna talk about it.
Right.
And I don't need you to tell me that. If I get a feeling in my gut, I'm calling. Hello, let's do it. That's all that's going to happen. So we got to be more intentional. You can't be sisters with 5,000 people. That's why we got to build a community of all of us. Because then you're going to be able to have your people. See, people get so possessive, sis, over what ain't theirs. But they get so possessive over it.
Mm-hmm. No, remember we talked about that. Yep. We talked about that, Tanya, and I was telling her, because what did you ask me, sis? It didn't even have nothing to do with Tanya. You was just saying in general. We was talking about what we were putting together, and I mentioned Tanya, and I said that's what I love about my relationship with Tanya. She do her own thing, I do my own thing. We work with other people, we work together, and we still support each other through it all.
Yes, it's like, you know, because sitting over here with you now, sis, and you know, I sit 2 other places. I have a panel with my sister Peaches that she and I do. It's just the 2 of us. Then, you know, I sit on a panel, just Chalet panel with other ladies, and now over here. And it's all different, right? None of it is the same. But it's all important and what I love.
Right.
So I'm enjoying it. I get to just be me in all of those environments. And so how do you think you have the right to limit someone else's gift from others. Like, you just don't. It's just stupid. It's immature. You're insecure, and it's definitely a you problem. When they feel that way, when people try to act like they can run your life.
I did want to read
Where
Smile
they at?
Through the
If
Tears.
you touch it, it'll light up, sis.
Let's see.
Yep.
I'm in training, y'all.
We learning.
She said, man, I just cried my heart out. Don't know how I ended up here, but it was meant to be. Thank you, ladies. We truly appreciate you coming over here and supporting. I hope that you subscribe to both channels, because we will be on here every Monday, creating this space for you all to just come and vent and talk, where we can just show love to each other, uplift each other, and just, talk real and raw conversations.
Yes. Because, baby, I likes to talk about it. Y'all might get sick of me and tell Amber not to have me up here. But I ain't going nowhere. Y'all gonna be mad. Amber know I'm crazy. Y'all just gonna find out a little later.
And we're also going to open a panel up to y'all, because like I said, when the idea initially came to me, that's what it is. This is just our first live, where we wanted to come and introduce it, because she texted me and was like, when are you going to do your thing? And I love somebody that hold me accountable, because Tanya do the same thing. She like, when are you going to go on there and do that thing that you said you was gonna do? So like I said, here we are, and we're gonna bring y'all on a panel, and let you ladies come up and talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. April is gonna create an email for y'all to send your topics to, and things that you want to discuss or need advice on or need resources. So that's the space that we are creating.
Yes, facts. And I'm really just here for security. For those that know me, I'm always in the back seat. Ooh, shucks. But yes, I just want to thank all of you ladies. Y'all don't know, really, 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 because there's other creators on here, but just as women, stuff doesn't always come easy, and you really got to fight at it. You got to want it. This is literally the first not live interaction we've had, but this is our first time on live together. Yes, and we didn't prep. We did not say, well, we didn't even have a discussion about what we was going to talk about. Y'all, we literally spent our whole time trying to set up StreamYard. Let's be clear about what was going on.
We did.
So, y'all really got what we want to give y'all. What she said in the beginning is real and raw conversations. Yeah. So I really hope y'all all will come back and bring your friends with you.
Yes, and all we ask is that everyone be respectful of each other, be kind. My content sister that's peeing right here, Beautifully Healed, we disagree all the time. She is strong-willed, and so am I. And I'm like, honey, I said what I said. She like, well, I said what I said, and that's it. But it's about respect. So we just ask that everyone be kind to each other, respect each other. And I feel like we can really go a long way with this. And also support each other. Like I said earlier, some of you probably weren't on here, but this is not about myself. This is not about April. This is about all of us. Like we're trying to come together in unity and support each other and love on each other. Cause honey, these teenagers driving me crazy over here.
Y'all, she going through. Y'all know I just cuss my kids out and kick them back into play.
I'm trying to practice soft parenting.
I'm too old to learn new tricks, baby. They get what they get.
I'm like, honey, dang, I didn't know we was gonna get. It was gonna get like this. Well, look, I love y'all, but I don't like y'all.
Ain't nothing like when they get of the age that they give you back. Baby, listen, that'll make you bust me in the eye.
That's what this is, because I know I was something else.
You reap what you sow, ain't that what they say now?
Yeah.
Them kids will sure give it to you with 2 feet.
So yeah, y'all, those will be our topics. We're gonna talk about parenting. We're gonna talk about motherhood. We're gonna talk about stuff that we go through with our bodies as women. We're gonna talk about fake friends, fake support. Baby, we gonna talk about it, okay? Real and raw. And April said earlier, you know, if you don't like what we're discussing, you may come on here on a Monday and that topic isn't for you. You know, just that's not the night for you. Come back next Monday.
You next week.
Right. Come back next Monday, but we still love you, okay? So, like I said, it's just all about respect. Like, we just want everyone to be respectful to each other.
Because always remember, you can hit us up. The best way to discuss an issue is to already have an idea of a solution.
Thank you, Jess Chalet. Miss Peaches, girl, yes. And all your children are different. Like you, one of them, I can yell at one and tell her about herself, and it don't bother her. The other one, she act like the world unended. You say one thing, and I'm like, girl, if you don't get out my face. And then the middle child, they just be a thug, y'all. Like, I'm like, where you come from?
Yep. Oh, you from your daddy's side.
Right. The middle child is you all over again. For real. So yes, all of them are different, and you have to literally, they'll say, oh, that's your favorite. Oh, that's your favorite. You literally have to parent each of them different, you know, and show them their own different type of love.
I don't, yeah, Lord, baby. But some of that stuff they get from their daddy people, and they really ain't nothing we could do about it.
You right about that too.
Baby, listen, I got two different baby daddies. I don't do the same dumb shit twice. So, and then I got my husband, who isn't the biological father of nobody, not mine. He have his own his own children. So that's why I say we're a blended family. We'll talk about that another night.
Yes, but y'all, we enjoyed y'all. We hope y'all come back and spend some more time with us next Monday. Like we said, if y'all want to talk about something, I know y'all see I like to talk, okay? And y'all see my sis like to talk too. So baby, we got topics that we can talk about, but we want to include y'all. We want y'all to be included. We want y'all to be a part of this. So y'all send us send us some topics.
Yes,
like to talk about.
But good night, queens.
Yes, we love y'all. Thank y'all for joining, and we will see y'all next Monday
at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. Okay, sis. Let me see.